politics, conspiracies, demonstration. As we know, democracy is a government system by the whole population, sometimes only for the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. In this video, I want to share with my thoughts why democracy is frail. As we see in a story, democracy is frail by dictatorship. One type of dictators is a military dictatorship. An example of military dictatorship seems like what was happening in Myanmar when the Junta military took elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi to be a prisoner a few weeks ago. So, should we change to the dictatorship? In China, when the Chinese government still implementing the dictatorship, they can build good infrastructure, metropolitan cities, porters of goods and manufacturers, and even China braves to fight US in the world trading. A nation needs 20 until 30 years to be a developed country with a good leadership like the Chinese government, without freedom of speech and some of the rights of every Chinese people. However, I never agree with the dictatorship. Some of the countries in the world had turned dictatorship to democratization after the World War II. The global dynamics of democracy has been a central question for political scientists. Is democracy frail even we implementing democracy? This picture shows the democracy index of every country in the world. The United States is named as one of the full democracy countries in the world. The problem was, Donald Trump had been defeated by Joe Biden in the US election 2020 a few months ago. An angry mob stormed and violated the Capitol to protest an unconfirmed election fraud. Is that democracy what we imagine? Anyway, some of countries in the world implement democracy. Democracy isn't working well. One of the bad examples of democracy is instability politics due to a transfer of power with different visions and missions of leadership like in the Philippines. It can impact the economic sector. Sometimes some leaders keep maintaining their powers in other ways. One of the political practices that keep ruling their power is money politics or bribe. For example, I'm the candidate for the next leader. I campaign about my visions and mission in front of all of you. Then I promise I would give you $10 if you vote for me in the election. It happens in every election in Indonesia. The other weakness of the democracy is voting system. Don't use the voting system because voting system make majority voters much more stronger even they are on the wrong side. I've met and gave a question to voters. The question is, what is the capital of the state of Japan? A. Tokyo, B. Osaka, C. Fukuoka, or D. Kyoto? And 93% of voters were correct because the answer is Tokyo. Or the next question is, how many seats does the lower house of Burmese parliament have? A. 110 seats, B. 220 seats, C. 330 seats, or D. 440 seats. Let's vote. On this table, you can see the percentage of every answer, and the answer is D, 440 seats. Only 6% of voters were correct. This is why I said that sometimes majority is in the wrong side. So what's the solution for strengthening democracy? The answer is a meritocracy. This is a political system in which economic goods and or political power are vested in individual people. You can choose your leader as your favorite ones based on their political stories, capacities, manners, and capabilities rather than social class, wealth, and popularity are like the past statistics before. We must support our leaders as long as he's in the virtual way demonstrated them if they made wrongdoings or against the way of virtue. Like South Korean protesters demanded their president to resign over a corruption scandal. There were 0 victims, 0 accidents, and no criminal things between protesters and police in the last of the year 2016. We hope democracy not frail as we thought. To all Burmese people in Myanmar, I hope you can survive in the darkness of dictatorship. Forget about the new players on the Mobile Legends game platform. They need your support. Someday, they can see the hope of the light at the end of the tunnel and developing their country with democracy. That's one story about me. I'll see you in my next story. Goodbye! I just realized that if you like my videos, please like and subscribe on the Will and Go channel on YouTube. But if you dislike my videos, you make me hard.